Hello, good evening, and welcome. Yes, another mad week. Absolutely bonkers. Um, can anyone hear or see me? Now, I'm trying out these new microphones. So, if some of you guys saw my recent videos, which I've done yesterday, I found big issues with audio, but I think I've corrected it. So, it'd be good to hear if it's coming in okay. If it's not, let me know, and we can fix that straight away. Really expensive microphones, but they do need some looking into. These little things here. Yeah. So hopefully we're waiting for you guys to follow suit. Here's the mic there. All right. Loud and clear. That's cool. Excellent. So it's not too quiet then, is it? Well, if it's not too quiet, then all good in the hood. Spot on. Cool. Right. Excellent. Good to see you all here. And yep, like always, it's been a mad week. Ronnie, if you're here, mate, let me know in the chat, and we'll get business done ASAP. So yeah, we're just seeing people in the chat. Oh my God, check it out! I've noticed this. Oh, my bro, John, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Yeah, this guy looks after his family with shooters, if you know what I mean, and the old family looks after him too. Good to see you, buddy. Awesome, happy days. Let's just see. Ronnie is late. If anyone sees Moocher in it, let me know. Right, okay. So, sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. Excellent. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to kick off this Friday's live stream, finishing off last week because there is so much to get through, and I've only got halfway through it, so it's only fair to finish off what we was live streaming about last week. So what I'll do while everyone's still turning up, I've got a few thank yous for you guys on PayPal during the week. So this is thanks to Monica, Paul, Ken, Antoinette, that's a lovely name, Gwen, MLGSSE, McLeese, I'm not sure, Maureen, Paula. Yes, thank you guys. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Wow, what's that? I can't read it. Jill Maltby, awesome. Oh, John, you don't need to, brother. Seriously? Yeah. Signal. That's the preferred method of comms that I'm using. I've pretty much ditched Telegram now. That is just not safe. I've had some good friends of mine really spot on with IT, and they run some tests and they were tracked all the way. So if any of you guys are on Telegram, get all of the details that you need from the people you love on there. Friggin' delete the app ASAP. I don't care if there's any cool groups and stuff. You are tracked like you wouldn't believe. All right, that's no BS. That's absolute fact. Okay, WhatsApp, Telegram, not safe. Signal, good. Okay, you can go bright and white if you want to, but not many people can get their head around the encryption. But without waffling on too much, what I want to do is find out where you guys are from. Look at that, there's only 400 here already, and it's only been 3 minutes. You guys are on point, so let me whack it up on the screen. Excuse me. Right, let's go back into the chat. It's always cool to see where you guys are from, because we've got new guys coming all the time. North Korea. I'll call BS. Newport, South Wales. That's Steve. Salford. All right, Dave. Oh, check it out. My God, we got someone from Kansas. Awesome. Check it out. We got Judy from Virginia. Oh my God, sweet home Virginia. Yes, sir. It's always good to hear people from America. And another thing, if any of you guys are watching from America, can you let Americans know about me? Because it's really weird. I think he's only 5% of all of my subscribers are American. Don't understand it. I really don't understand it, because America is where it's at, etc. There you go. OPSEC, 100%. Yeah. Oh, at last. Sweetheart's arrived. All right, Pickle. Ronnie. It's a shame. It's a shame. Nothing lasts forever, son. Right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to abort that because this little guy's got a bee in his bonnet. So we're going to get things sussed. I made a statement on the live stream last week, right at the end, and it was only based on what I've known to understand over all the years within the prepping community. And that was, remember when I said that putting snares out is illegal in the UK? Turns out it's not. Unbelievable. Do you know what? I'd love to go up to all them guys that have told me over the years that it's illegal and stick him in Ronnie's face, because Ronnie is a serious moocher. He knows his stuff, no flannel, and is a good mooching community out there. So I apologise if I've offended any moochers or hunters out there. The record is that hunting isn't illegal in the UK, but I urge anyone wishing to participate in any activities is to check their local laws just to make sure. Apart from that, it's all legal. So Ronnie, I do apologise, mate, and yeah, I've got broad shoulders, son. You crack on, no problem at all. So we're going to crack on with where you guys are from. It's always cool because, oh, look at this. Bill Wales. Well, just round the corner. Super Matt. Awesome. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, Bill's a small town, isn't it? Do you know what? Going up and down that high street, man, it's a nightmare, isn't it? There's nowhere to frigging park. What a pain. Check it out. We got someone from Belgium, the one and only. No, that is cool. Belgium. You guys make good beer. Even Ronnie would say that. I think Ronnie's a lager boy still. I don't think he drinks the real ales yet, but he's learning. I'm only playing me for one. Yeah, John's in his bunker, and yes, he's got a bunker. Oh, look at this. Rex from Florida. Now, I've been led to believe that Florida is almost like Texas in regards none of that left BS, which is awesome. Is it Ron DeSantis, I think his name is? Yeah. Wow. So let me just check. Oh my God, what's this? We've got Cornwall. Represent. Absolutely. Love Cornwall. And do you know what? Like I said about you guys having that hosepipe ban up until December. Not all of Cornwall, some parts of it. Yeah, get water soon because they're already pushing a narrative about heat waves, all right? So someone's told me as well, someone I know, it's not some weird email that comes through, that some supermarkets in Cornwall are rationing bottled water already, okay? If you're watching in the chat, or indeed if you're watching on the replay, let me know in the comments. That would be awesome to know, actually, because we need to be prepared, okay? Yeah. This is Murpha. Someone from Murpha. Andrea. Awesome. Anglesey. Do you know what? I've never been up there. Faye, you've been up there. You said it's pretty nice. Yeah, awesome. I need to get my ass up there one day. We're just stuck in Mid Wales. You know, just getting from A to B takes a minimum 40 minutes no matter where it is. Yeah, there's a lot of space. And Isabel, good to see you the other day, sweetheart, as well, in Landod. In Llandrindod, Wales. Landod. That's what the locals call it. They can't even be bothered to say Llandrindod. It's funny, the Welsh. I love them. I really do. Oh, look at this. Sheila, booked for the prepper meet. Yes, get in. Awesome. Do you know what? This is a weird one, and this hasn't happened before. I need to find out how many tickets we sold because they haven't told me. So I'm going to get back to you guys to see how many people are going there, because a few people have asked. We got someone from Colorado, Valerie, awesome. County Durham, Sparky Ray, happy days. Here we go. Faye, good to see you. What's that? Yinsmon is stunning. Oh, that must be a part in Anglesey, I guess. Yeah, all my knowledge of Wales is just focused on Mid Wales. I've only been up North Wales once when I visited Denbigh, and I've only been to South Wales once recently when I met my man who's organising the bushcraft show. And that's it. So yeah, I need to go down North and South. It's just so far away. The problem is, North and South, it's too populated for me. We've come out here to get away from all of the cities and towns, so maybe we just hang around in mid Wales. I don't know. Oh, look at that. If that's true, respect to you. My mate Pete's done Everest Base Camp. Awesome. So we're look at that. We've got nearly 600 in here already. That's cool. It won't be long before we start rock and rolling with the show. Like I say, loads of people can't make it on time, and that's absolutely understandable. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, here we go. Kev over in Northants. Awesome. It's down south. North Hampshire. Here we goes. Oh, what? Oh, that's sad news. Green finger fetish. Not that one. Evening down from Lou. Lou down in Cornwall, next to Polperro. What a beautiful little place that is. That's close to my heart for sure. I lost my best friend, my goldfish Gilly, last night. Oh my God. That I've been loved and looked after for 14 years. We used to watch your show together, and I'm alone tonight. Very sad. I'm sorry to hear about the goldfish. I'm not sure if that's a wind up a joke or true, or you're genuinely sad, but either way, my condolences to the fish. Oh, bloody hell. I'm clicking all sorts on there. Yeah, Phil, 100%. Lou, down in Cornwall, is beautiful. Right, so we're all looking good. So we've apologised to the mooches out there. They got offended. That's terrible, you know. I don't like it when people get offended. It's not nice. Oh, Ben, 4x4 fellas in the house. Did I see Tim? Yes, born outside. Mate, I watched the old video. Oh my God. You're as bad as Ronnie. Just going out in the woods and getting hammered. You guys are a nightmare. Well, I'll tell you what, that burger was so good, it made me cook a burger tonight. And I never have burgers on a Friday. It's always curry. So yeah, you've done something, dude. Right. Cool. Okay then. So we're going to lose that. For you new guys, because guess what? I've done a video earlier on in a week and it's had 114,000 views already. Never expected that. And off the back of that, we've had about 600 subscribers just from that video. So for you new guys who have come here, who don't know me, who have never seen my videos before, I always do a quick version of this because lots of people just don't know. I was working in Wales right up until September. I just lost my job. It was gone. It was a nightmare. And to find a job out here in the middle of nowhere, it's a pain in the ass. All there is farming, and that's it. And that's going to be at minimum wage. It's just not enough, okay? So I decided to make a full-time go of making YouTube videos. Now, trust me, it's not as easy as you think, okay? Lots of them take 40%, and you don't get left with much. And if you don't get views, you don't get paid, and it's a nightmare. So if anyone can donate, it's truly appreciated. But I must say this, you do not have to, okay? I'm not telling you to. If you are in a position to help, it really does. All of the links you're going to need to know about donations are underneath this video. Just click the word more, and I think there's PayPal, there's Buy Me a Coffee and Ko-fi. And also on the super chat, some of you guys are awesome when you put super stickers, super thanks under the video, and all that good stuff. It really helps, okay? So that is for you guys in the replay too. Through the week, like I said thanks to the guys who donated on PayPal. That is a massive boost. Because, yeah, I can't really go into details or say anything about what happened, but something did happen recently. All I can say is I've got to be very, very, very careful of what I say on YouTube, okay? And, yeah, if you can help, now is the time. I can't say anything. My lips are sealed, pretty much. Which is a bummer, but there it is. They literally are. So, right, okay then. We're going to go on to what we usually do, because we got a few people in here already. And what we always do is we always check, because we are preppers after all, and why wouldn't you want to know what the threat levels are from MI5, the security service? Okay, so we're looking every single week. Some people check every day. It's still set at substantial risk, the threat level, okay, from terrorism. Now, we haven't seen any terrorism for a long time, have we? I don't know why. Northern Ireland, they've gone up a notch. They are now at severe threat level in Northern Ireland. And if you don't know what the threat levels are, here they are on the screen now. Low, moderate, substantial, severe, and critical. I hope to God we never see critical, because that really is, yes, be seriously prepared. So that is what we are doing with the... Oh, Edward, you're an absolute legend. Much appreciated, seriously. That helps a lot. So, UK Prepperman Chris, I think's in the house. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, there he is, Chris. Now, some of these moderators, okay, whose names are in blue, and you've got spanners, some of them have got YouTube channels. I make YouTube videos, okay? Chris is one of them, UK Prepperman. The other one is Born Outside. So if you can see him up there, here he is, Born Outside. He makes videos as well. And Moocher73, my God, imagine making him a moderator. My God. But he makes YouTube videos as well. And it was Moocher73 who give me the heads up about all of the snaring stuff, okay? So it is on here as well. So if any of you guys want to ask any questions about using snares and things like that, Ronnie's the man. If he's going to stay on here for a while, he might be able to answer your questions. So that's Moocher73. Awesome dude. Oh, guess what, Ronnie? My missus said to me, if I wanted to, she doesn't mind, I could pop over and see you in Germany. So we'll see if we can get that arranged, mate. I don't know how I can afford it, but that would be epic, mate. Yeah. Have a couple of pig's ears down the frog and toad, mate. Why not? Let me see. So the next thing we've got to do, we need to check the stocks, because they do have relevance. So here we go, over to, this is the very latest live on what is happening in the markets. As you can see, they've all tanked. Okay, so the Dow is down, S&P 500 is down, Nasdaq, which is tech stocks, pretty much is down. Gold is under 2K. So what else are we looking at there? Top performers, wow. Palladium's had a jump, 4%, that's not too bad. But check out this. Gold, 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 gold. It'd be interesting to see if it hits 2.5K this year. I know some of you guys are holding gold, some are stacking silver. The silver's jumped out the bottom again. To be fair, silver's always going up and down like crazy. So if we go and have a quick look at silver for the last month, look at that. So we had that high not that long ago, 26 bucks, right down to 23, okay? But it is one of those things, it really does go up and down, up and down. It's just nuts. And if you look at the week, yeah, it's tanked. But don't worry, it is not the end of the world, okay? So what else have we got in here? Coal, that's just gone up a little bit. Brent and WTI index, that's gone up a bit from last week. Wow. Okay. We just keep an eye on that, because if you see the price of oil go over 1 ton a barrel, expect some changes at the pumps for sure. Aluminium is going down. Nothing really important to mention on the markets. They all seem pretty standard. There hasn't been any real shakers. Cocoa's jumped. Look at that, 29. So you might see prices of chocolate go up soon, or at some point. Palm oil. Wow, palm oil. Look at that. That's gone up. So palm oil. What is that used in? Noodles. Okay. If you've already got noodles prepped, you're good. What else? It's pretty much it. There's no point really going in depth about that, because there's nothing's really changed, etc. Right. So what else have we got? Oh yes, there's links underneath this video right now about the bushcraft show. And if you didn't know, it's next Friday. All right, so I'm going to try my best to do a live stream next Friday at the bushcraft show. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I will try. I'm going to try and get there for midday. We've got a big parachute shelter to set up. We've got our own shelters to set up. We've got to get a little boy to bed, and I've got to try and set all of the tech stuff up near the media suite or something like that, and try and do a live stream. It's going to be a tall order, okay, but I will try. And also the prepper meet. Now, lots of people have been booking on a prepper meet. People have been contacting me left, right, in Chelsea, and it's good. Okay, it's the last weekend of July. There's plenty of time to get tickets and stuff like that. And it's also when the kids are off school, so I haven't got to worry about dragging them out of school. And yes, I did have some strange guys say not all kids are out of school at the same time. But, you know, when I looked online, that's what the nationwide consensus was. So, yeah, shoot me if I'm wrong. There you go. Oh, look at this. Kate. Oh, bless you, sweetheart. Kate over on PayPal. You're a legend. Appreciate that, darling. I really do. So, yes. Where did we get to last week? Now, we went through all of these things because we're talking about prepping for a post-collapse. Okay? So when stuff gets real. All right? And to be fair, what happened in 2020, nothing really surprises me anymore. It doesn't. And that is a ballsy thing to say. But nothing surprises me anymore. I mean, when you see police cars going down the street with rainbows on them, and when they don't want to be called he, they call them and they or whatever it is, you know, anything can change. You literally have to be prepared for anything right now. Okay. In fact, I remember watching Neil McCoy Ward, my friend Neil, who was on just before me earlier, and he was saying that his upper half, his wife, she was in a meeting and she was told to refer to this person. Do you know what? I don't care. If you get offended, right, you get offended. Guess what happens when you're offended? Nothing happens. So if something says something that upsets you, don't worry, sweetheart. Nothing happens. It's fine. We're adults, right? Get over it. It's cool. So if you're offended by being called he or she, it's them and they and all that weird alphabet stuff. Anyway, without going into micro rant mode, she's pretty much been given a warning. If she does it again, then there could be possibilities, perhaps, of a disciplinary route just for not recognising someone's pronouns. How mad is that? Really? Is this the world we're living in? So we're talking about a post-collapse. Okay, so when everything has gone SHFT, okay, shit hit the fan. That one, okay. There's been many movies theorising what could happen. There's been documentaries, docudramas, lots of YouTube videos made about, you know, what would happen, what would be predicted to happen, in what order, the time frames. Theoretically, no one really knows because we haven't witnessed it before. So it's almost impossible to predict and analyse without it actually happening. But based on what's happened historically in the past, it gives us some idea at least of what could happen. There's been many stories all the way around the world. One of them springs to mind. A good friend of mine is out in LA. He was born in the Philippines. Some of you guys might know him on YouTube by Rob Braxman. Is the privacy guy. Okay, so anything to do with online privacy, he is the guy. Okay, really knows his stuff. He's a software architect, so he does know a fair bit about machine learning, etc. Okay, he really does. And when he talked about on one of his live stream once about when he was in the Philippines, and it was literally more or less like what China is right now. Okay, anyone speaking out against the government, what was happening is people in the community were incentivized to dob people in who weren't following the program. So if anyone was speaking out against whatever the government was saying I don't believe you, I think that's wrong, why are you telling people all these lies, if anyone was saying stuff like that, they were literally grassed up from members of the community for financial gain. So we are probably walking down the same road. We don't really know how long it's going to be, but when you start to see people's disposable income start to literally dissolve, okay? Now, lots of people have got some sort of savings in the bank. Some people, you know, they get their wages, whether it's a collective income from the household. Maybe there's a small amount of money left over once all of the bills. When I say all of the bills, I mean everything. So we're talking fuel for the car, the running cost of the car, all of the taxes, insurances, MOTs and stuff, and everything else, or the phone bills, all of the bills. There's not much left. So when that not much left bit is gone, you know, I remember reading out a video the other day, and some people are using credit cards just to get their shopping because they can't afford to get shopping, i.e. food. Okay, so their money comes straight in, it goes straight out, there's nothing left. What am I going to do for a whole month with nothing? Well, guess what? They've gone out and got a credit card. On, it doesn't really say in the article, you know, whether it's a 0% free or whatever it was, but nonetheless, they are getting their food on credit. Now, at some point, it's going to hit the fan. I mean, I think it's already happened in America. I think lots of people survive in America on credit. You know, it's not their own money, if you want to boil it down, okay? Which is a dangerous road to go down. So, like I say, nothing really surprises me. And then, like Rob was saying, you know, when people are skint, they will literally do anything to get some money, to get some food on the table for their children. And when you think about it, you probably would. But it's one of those moral dilemmas. Do you shop someone in for speaking out about the government because you haven't eaten for 4 days and your kids are going up the wall and they're getting bad? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. It's easy to say you won't, but you don't know because you've not been in that position before. So it does look like we could be going down that road, especially with online stuff. I mean, the amount of censorship which is going on. I mean, YouTube is the biggest search platform, second to Google, okay? Excuse me. And lots of people use YouTube. Now, like I said before, you've got advertisers paying good money to Google to put their adverts on our videos, okay? We get a tiny little amount, next to nothing really. And Google absolutely raking it in every second. I mean, do you remember the, what was it? It's a countdown clock of how much the American debt is, like trillions, and the numbers are going up. Imagine if there was one with the money going into Google. That'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Like a world clock of how much money is going into Google as a company. It'd be really interesting to see that. So yeah, there is lots of stuff going on behind the scenes. So when people say, you know, prepping for a post-collapse, it won't happen. But guess what? How many people over the last couple of thousand years or so, how many people have said, nah, it's not going to collapse? But look at the fall of the Roman Empire. It happened. These things do happen. Oh, look at this. I just saw a big colour block come up. Black Fang Werewolf again. Thanks, dude. Put this towards a drink, brother. You're a legend. Do you know what? Speaking of drinks, Faye, please don't forget to remind me, sweetheart. And Faye, you're not allowed to drink this stuff. It's naughty. Look at that. 8.2%. Not for the boys. Okay. So yeah, appreciate that, son. Absolutely. I think I've down to 2 bottles and I've got nothing at all. So yeah, that £2 will go towards it for sure. Thank you for that. That'd be awesome. And yes, this is important. I don't really say this, but Paul, hit the like button because I keep forgetting to say that. And you know, we've got 876 people in here. I don't know how many thumbs up have been smashed, but no, it all helps if you guys do that. So yes, we're going to carry on through the list. Now, last time we spoke about hunting, which got me in trouble with those moocher folk. But yeah, that's been dealt with now. I've apologised. And yeah, it just goes to show, doesn't it? Don't believe everything that you're told, even in communities of like-minded people who think they're hunters. So yes, there you go. Growing food and livestock. Now, who saw that video that my good friend Richard Vobes done about the guy who's got the cabin in the woods? I think he put it up yesterday or this morning. Wow. You should watch that video. It's really good. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go into YouTube, type in Richard Vobes, Vobes, and you'll see the thumbnail come up. I think he does 2 videos a day. And incidentally, I was on the phone to Richard for ages. We speak at least 2 or 3 times a week now on the phone and texting and stuff and emails. And he even interviewed me yesterday. So the interview with Richard Vobes and myself will be going on his channel I don't know when, probably over the next 3 or 4 days or so. So keep an eye out for that. He was talking to me about prepping, which is something which I think needed to be said, because how he was pitching the conversation towards the viewers was, you know, what is the mainstream definition of prepping and what is yours? So I'll put the record straight. If you go to any mainstream production about the preparedness community, shall we say, it's often deemed as right wing, extreme Christian, bunkers, bullets, baked beans, whatever it is. But that seems to be what preppers are, which I think is completely BS. It's like everything else that the mainstream put out. In fact, I was contacted by 3 mainstream newspapers, all different ones, this week, wanting me to do articles for them. And I just replied saying, no, I don't talk to the mainstream media. And that's it. That's all my response was. Oh my God, look at this. The biggest donation of the night so far. Awesome. Put this towards your tipple. Ali, dude, honestly, I really appreciate that. You're a bloody legend, mate. Spot on. Is Richard going to the Bushcraft show? I did speak to him about that, but he's already on his travels. He said he might be able to get there for Monday, because I think he's in Somerset doing a is it symposium? Yes, it's the one that lots of good truthers speak at in Glastonbury. In fact, my late friend Ian R. Crane, as some of you guys know him, he used to speak there at Glastonbury at Symposium. So yeah, Rich is going there, which just happens to be on the same bloody weekend as the Bushcraft show. So unfortunately, no. But I am going to see if I can get him to the prepper meet. How funny would that be? Because I think he's got a van. He does van life. So if he can get someone to look after his partner's kids, then that would be cool to see Richard at the prepper meet. Tell me what you think in the chat, and also in the comments if you want to see Richard Vobes at the prepper meet. I'll have a word with him. See if I can get him to come over. He really, really is, and you know, when I chat to him and stuff, it's like we've known each other for years. It really is weird, okay. And his other half seems spot on as well. It's good to know that you got 2 people together who are awake. There's nothing worse than being in a relationship with someone who is asleep. I mean, I couldn't begin to imagine. And personally, I don't think that will last at all. It couldn't do. It's just crazy. Chris, can't make the Bushcraft show. He's taking his lad out in a 9x9. Fair play, mate. Hey, listen, family comes first. I've always been a massive advocate of that. And yeah, sometimes it upsets people, but no, you know, you have to put family first. And if people get upset by me making certain decisions about that, most of you guys are really good and you understand. But some won't, so there you go. So, yes, okay, let's crack on to it. So the first thing which we are going to talk about is wild edibles. So when you're out there right now, and to be honest, up in Wales where we are, they've been around for at least 6 weeks, maybe a bit longer. It's all different at different parts of the country. Dandelions pop out whenever they need to, okay? So dandelions, oh my goodness. So if you've got problems with stomach problems, liver complaints, diabetes. Now, how many of you watching right now are diabetic? Okay, really look into dandelions. I'm not joking. Okay, and you can eat every single part of the dandelion, right from the bottom of the root all the way up to the top of the flower, the bud, the leaves, the stem, everything. Okay, I mean, I could literally do 10 videos about what you can do with dandelions. Maybe I will one day. Maybe it's already been done. I don't know. But dandelions, honestly, for a wild foraging basic, you know, you can't really get dandelions wrong as regards to IDing them. But you know, as a disclaimer, check first. Okay, always check before you pick anything. Other things it does: respiratory ailments. So you've got anything with the respiratory tract, dandelions is amazing. What I like to do with mine is to literally get the whole thing. Sometimes I can't be bothered to pull the roots up, so I just pull it up right from the floor. I just put them into a pot of water, some water, and I get it just to it's about to boil, okay, and I'll turn it off, leave it on the heat, put the lid on, and just keep it there. And keep it there for a good 20 minutes or so. And then what I tend to do is I'll smash it to hell and strain it. Now, what I like to do personally, I haven't got it here, it's just over there, but it's one of those little laser trigger things which just detects the temperature. You do that, but you have to make sure that the temperature of that solution, after you've pressed it and pushed it through a sieve, is below 60 degrees. Okay, if you get it anything between 50 and 55, it's perfect, because what that enables you to do is to put raw local honey, and it must be local. Okay, it must be nearest to where you live. Okay, and don't think there isn't any available, because there is. People do honey on rooftops in towns and cities, etc., with hives. Okay, you just got to ask around, and if you're keen, you will find some. If you're lazy and you can't be bothered, it might be difficult, but if you're really interested, you will find some. And you put as much as you can into that solution, and it's absolutely awesome for anything respiratory related. Okay, excuse me. Apparently it's good for toothache, but it's one of those things. I would guess if you've got any sort of mild toothache, I would be sort of drinking it immediately and in copious amounts as well, because like everything else, if you have anything herbal, it takes a long time to get into the system. I think that's one of the key reasons why not many people use it. But it's going to be one of those things where prevention is better than cure. So you're going to need to be taking this stuff pretty much every day, and all other sort of wild edible herbs and medicines. Okay, because if all of a sudden you get a toothache or a sore throat or something, trying to sort of do something about it with herbs, it's going to take like 30 odd days sometimes to get into your system and do something. So you're going to be suffering anyway. So what's the point? People go along and get tablets which mask about 30% of the symptoms and makes it a bit more bearable to get up and go to work, yada, yada, yada. But that's why I think lots of the reasons why people don't, okay? It's supposed to be good for broken bones. If you've broken something, that is absolutely a good thing as part of the healing process, okay? Dandelions. Honestly, like I say, it's everywhere. It's free. Sore eyes. So if you've got sore eyes, so say if it's summertime and it's dusty and you get dust in your eyes and you're rubbing them, and sometimes you're rubbing a bit too hard and you start getting sore, dandelions, drink loads of that stuff. And if you've got the cut as well. So basically, like I say to some of the guys when I do the prepping and survival courses, there's lots of things that you can do if you cut yourself. One of them which I like to do is moss. Okay, you get some big, clean, healthy moss. You've just nicked your finger and it's just literally dripping down like that. Get a big lump of moss, squeeze it around it, hold it, and elevate your finger. Okay, so the blood will start running down there. There won't be much blood there, so it's not going to be loads coming out everywhere. And it's got really good antiseptic properties within it. Okay, and it's also moist, etc. So you squeeze that as hard as you can. Once that's done, you got to get your first aid kit out. If you've got one, you should have a first aid kit if you're out and about. Plasters, I always carry some in my wallet. Okay, so anything like that, you just literally put it under your arm, so you're keeping the tension there. Then you can get your plaster, get it all out and stuff, seal it up, job done. So I can say I can go on for ages about all this sort of stuff, but it's one of the things which I'm trying to do on my website at the moment. Website's a pain in the backside because I'm trying to create lots of digital products, which is there's a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I've got to start from scratch about learning all of the techie stuff. Okay, I spent the best part of today literally smashing my head against the wall, not literally, but I wanted to, about doing PowerPoint presentations, trying to arrange graphics on Canva, and it's just bloody, for somebody who's never done it before, why don't they make it easy? Where you can just get a blank thing, you drag it on there, boom, done. No, you've got to open these windows and all this bloody paraphernalia and back, in front, and so yeah, I've had it up to here with that, which is one of the reasons why I haven't made or put up any videos today. So yeah, I've been trying to work on that. I'm struggling, to be honest, with all this techie stuff with websites. It's a pain in the ass. The guy who's been doing it for me, he's basically finished. So all he needs is stuff for me to put on there. So I'm trying to play catch up. Is trying to survive with the money I'll get from YouTube and trying to find time to put all of this stuff on the website. and I'm trying to do both, which makes it really difficult. Okay, I'm one of them guys that likes to focus on one thing and just smash it. Trying to do a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm struggling, and it is hard because if I don't make YouTube videos and don't get views, I don't get any money. And all the time I'm scratching my head, bumbling around trying to do this stuff for the website. Time's ticking by, I'm not earning any money. And by the time the end of the month comes, we're in the poop. So it's like, that's why the website's taking so long, because I'm putting all the time into doing YouTube stuff. And yeah, it's not really paying like it should. It's a nightmare. But yeah, I need to find some time and somewhere to do this stuff. Anyway, without me ranting on there, what else can we talk about? Wild edibles, meds, herbs, and infections. So everything's gone bad. Do you think you're going to be able to walk into Boots the chemist and ask for some medicines? Probably not. They're probably going to be raided and looted, especially by drug users. They're going to be the first people to literally take the mick out of pharmacies. Okay, they're going to be turned over, as will supermarkets and corner shops. 24 hours after a post collapse. Yeah. Supermarkets, 24 hours gone. They will be empty. They will be stripped. Do you really think that one or two security guards is going to stop 300 people running towards that door? No. Do you think those doors are going to be able to stop all them people? Even those big roller shutters. Once you've got all of that weight of determined, desperate people, nah, I'm sorry. It's just not going to hold up. And the supermarkets will get turned over. So it's not a bad idea to start practicing and learning now. It's quite easy to do, but you need to take your time. And you know what? Now, probably this time of year is the best time to start foraging for wild edibles and medicines and herbs. Because literally everything right now is just popping into life. It's incredible. Okay, the only thing you probably won't get much of this time of year is mushrooms. You're going to get those in autumn, but like I said, if you start off with basics like dandelions, you identify them and you learn different ways of how to extract the goodness out of them, then it's a start. And sometimes when people start off doing real basic simple things like that, they tend to get the bug, as it were. Oh god, bloody PayPal's a nightmare. Right, let's try that again. Bloody hell, what happened there? Oh my god, so we got Jeffrey, Sam, Yvette, that's a nice name. Darren, Sheila Maguire. I guess that's over in Ireland. And Kate. Wow, thank you guys for them donations. I didn't know that. It's strange because it's never popped up on my screen, that's why I've got to check my phone. So yes, we need to talk about stuff. Right, okay. Medicine, herbs, infections, yes. Now, I remember seeing this film, right, and I'll tell you what, this would be a good little test for you real preppers out there, right? There was like a prepper film, which was out, I'm guessing around 2012, between 2012, I think, and probably about 2015, something like that. Now, I'm not sure where it would come from, but it was a good hour long, and I'm trying to sort of go back in time. My mate, Quality Jackson, had this on his YouTube channel, but I think he's taken it down now. I'll have to get hold of him and ask him what it was called, because I really need to watch that film again. It was about this family, and they bugged out of this American, looked like a suburban sort of setup, okay? And it was literally, gangs were going door to door, and they literally chucked everything they could into their pickup truck, I think it was, and they just bugged out of town, and it was chaos as they was leaving. And they just got further and further away. It was really good, actually. I quite enjoyed it, and it was showing their journey, trying to get food. The guy killed someone for the first time, and he had to deal with that. And he ended up in community, and it was getting really crazy. So they left there. They ended up in another community that was deemed successful, and they carried on, and everything was fine. And because we're at that point in the film, they were so far past the collapse the day or the week, whenever it happened. That literally all of the pharmaceutical medicines were gone. We're talking years and years and years past. And what happened in the story was this guy got a cut on his arm, I think it was, and it got infected, and he died. And I'm thinking, wow. Obviously, there's no antibiotics for infections. So yeah, you're looking at amoxicillin for wound infection. Okay, Neosporin, which I use in my med kit, is fantastic. Any of you guys in America that know about Neosporin, it's excellent stuff. And it's a yellow tube, and it's got a little tiny blue banner with it's got pain relief on there as well. So not only does it kill the infection, it numbs the pain. That stuff is freaking amazing. I remember, who remembers when you get your fingernail and you got that tiny bit of skin down there, and you pull it off and it just tears down a little bit. Well, that's happened to me a few times, and that finger all up there got well infected. It looked like a Rice Krispie on there, and it was so painful. It was just pushing all of that skin there, and obviously it was infected. Now, luckily for me, I had a good friend in America send me over some of this stuff, and it arrived in a few days. I don't know how they do it. So literally, I got this Neosporin, and I put it on my finger, and literally the next day I woke up, it was gone. It is that flipping good. But going back to this film, that guy who had a cut on his arm, and he got really infected. He's laying down, he was shivering, he was going through possible sepsis. It's hard to say. And he died. I thought, if only he knew about some of these wild herbs and stuff, which would have absolutely fixed that. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do with the guys in the community, especially the new guys, or even if you've been prepping for years, but it's one of those things that you haven't sort of spent enough time and energy on: wild edibles and plant medicine. Okay, lots of people have got gaps in their preps, and I'm not perfect. I wish I spent more time and money getting proper hand radio stuff, but I just haven't done it. So everyone's got their thing where they've probably left, and lots of people say they don't know nothing about wild mushrooms or wild edibles or wild herbs. Okay, but just say, the guy in the movie, if he would have known something, he would have survived, and all of his family, and his kid was growing up, seeing his dad's grave every day as the kid was young. And it's heartbreaking to see, but only if they knew. Okay, so yes, it's something really worth looking into. Okay, also, what else have we got? Self-defense and security. Yes, because like I state on so many videos now, we have the police, and whether you love them or you hate them, the way I see it is there's good police and there's bad police. Okay, there's good doctors, there's bad doctors, there's good judges and there's bad judges. So basically there's good and bad in everyone. No one should say about that sort of people and tar them all with the same brush. Okay, I don't think that's a sensible and a fair thing to do. Every person is different. Okay, and like I said, that goes with the police. So whether you love them or you hate them, no matter what experiences that you've personally had with them, just imagine this: what if they weren't there all of a sudden? Yeah, do you know what would happen? The biggest, the baddest, the meanest will get whatever they want. All of the gangs, they'll be going, oh wow, we can just do whatever we want because there's no police anymore. And guess what? If you've got no ways and means of defending yourself, your family, your property, guess what? Gangs have guns. Gangs have weapons, especially the bad gangs in London. Okay, do you think they're really going to have any empathy when they push your front door in and take whatever they want to? So at best, if you haven't got any ways that you can defend yourself, you have to learn some sort of self-defense skills. Okay, you really, really do. Now, yes, I'm guilty of this as well. I did do martial arts a long, long time ago, but I'm in my 50s now, and I'm nowhere near as fast and as supple as I used to be. Okay, but I'm waiting for my son to get to the right age, and very soon we're both going to be going and do some self-defense. Now, Kempo Jiu-Jitsu was one that I dabbled in a long time ago, Judo as well, but it does look like Krav Maga is one of the things that a lot of people are getting into. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is another one. Okay, so there's many arts to choose from. But when you're looking at a street fight or something like that, okay, Forget all of the Wing Chun and the Taekwondo stuff. It's probably going to come down to grappling. So jiu-jitsu is a very good thing to sort of get into, because you could be caught off guard. Someone could rush you and grab you. At that point, there's no way you're punching and kicking. You're grappling. You're doing holds. Okay, so we are going to probably be looking into something like that, which I think everyone should do, and security as well. Now, how many people can put their hands up and say my house is completely secure? You know, not many people can. You know, you're looking at really strong front doors with mega locks all over them. None of that UPVC plastic stuff. Okay, there's many ways that you can bypass those. We're talking proper. You remember the old the drug bust you used to see on the TV, the old drug gangs, when they got a great big thick plated door with lots of dead bolts and locks with a metal frame, something like that. Believe it or not. And yes, it's going to look, you know, not very nice, but it's the same as everything. You can actually have that, and you can make the front of it look like an ordinary door. Okay, you can probably put formica sheet over it to make it look like a real wooden front door, and you can put the number on it or whatever it is, a fake letterbox or whatever. No one would really know. But if someone was going to be coming through that door, then they're going to have a bloody shock, because they're not going to. Windows as well, double glazed windows. Some of the old ones, there probably aren't that many of them now, but no one really knows. They're very easy to open, very easy for people to get into your home. So securing your home is difficult and expensive. One of the best things you probably could do is to have some sort of alarm system. So if someone gets in close proximity of your house, near your front door, at least a PIR light would go on. That is the basic go-to, what most people probably have in a city. Okay, someone and you can adjust the sensors on these and the angles. So someone comes like 2 foot inside of your front gate, and then it will set off. If you make it too long, it means every time someone walks past your gate down the street, it'll go off, and it'll just be a nightmare. So those sorts of things do put people off, believe it or not. Okay, and when you're looking at other things like cameras and stuff like that, sometimes that's enough to put people off. So it's a very difficult one, how you secure your home in a post-apocalyptic world, should we say. So yeah, everything's collapsed, everything's gone bad. My advice would be, if you are in an urban environment, is be gone before the collapse happens, or if and when it happens, is you need to get out of the urban area as fast as you possibly can. I wouldn't want to stay in a city should it go tits up. Absolutely not. Not a chance. It's not an option. Because I tell you what, unless you're armed to the teeth and your house is like Fort Knox, you got lots of people fighting along your side. Nah. We've got armed gangs, we've got bad people in this country, and unless you can't go toe to toe with them with weaponry, sorry, probably ain't got a chance. You need communities at least, but trying to organise that in the same street, etc., and defend it all, I wouldn't want to be there. Footprints. Do you know what? I need to get back to you on Instagram. I've been so busy. I've not really gone on Instagram that much. But yeah, you left me a ton of messages, you crazy lady. Thanks for that super sticker, sweetie. You're a legend. Appreciate it. Oh, bloody hell. Jeffrey, Sam, and Andrew, thank you very much on PayPal. You're bloody stars. Seriously. So we're going on to trade and barter items. Now, I do know people in the community who have done quite well for themselves. They've retired. Some of them have even moved abroad, and they've got a big lump of money in the bank. And really, that would scare me. Having a significant amount of money, like pensions, savings, all in one bank account. Like I said, what happened in 2020, nothing surprises me now. So nothing would surprise me if I wake up one morning, I don't, but if I did, put the radio on and it'd be all over the news, oh, so-and-so bank's gone bust, it's gone, there's people queuing up outside, banging on the door to get their money and there's no one there. That's happened before. It's happened in America recently. And I wouldn't trust any significant amount of money all in one account. Not a chance. My advice would be is to spread it through different accounts, different banks. Okay, before you decide what banks you're going to spread to, have a look into who owns them, what part of groups they are. Okay, I would go for the smaller banks rather than the big banks. Personally, you probably get a much better service. Lots of them stayed open through 2020, and all of the big ones just shut, etc. So you've probably got maybe a better chance, but this isn't advice. This is just what I'm talking about. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, all it did was it scared me knowing that someone in the community had a massive lump of money in one bank, and they think they're cool. Far from cool. Far from cool. And so, like I said, in a post-collapse, do you know how useful cash is going to be? You might be lucky to spend it 3 days. 4 days, you're pushing it. 5 days, no. If you've got 200 grand in the bank and the collapse happens, do you think you're going to get your hands on that money? Probably not. If you did, do you think you're going to be able to get much of that money? No, you probably won't. So all of that money, that is, all of them numbers on the screen that sat in your account, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. It really isn't. So my advice would be is to spread it between different banks. So if one goes bust, you've still got 3 or 4 other banks with something in there. You haven't lost a whole lot. Out of some of those accounts, take a certain amount out of things that you think you're going to need, things that you think are going to help. Okay, so look at things which are going to last for a long time, but will go up in value. Okay, and it's probably not as common as you think. Some of my older subscribers and viewers will probably heard me say this before, but look into things that people have addictions for. Okay, coffee. Trust me, some people, they just can't live without coffee. All right, and if they've had no coffee for a couple of weeks, their migraines are going to be unbearable, and that is going to be on top of all of the stress which is going to be going on. Okay, caffeine, coffee, get some. That stuff, especially the freeze-dried stuff, will last indefinitely. Okay, if you store it correctly, freeze-dried coffee will last years. It really, really will. In fact, what you could do, I would probably go to the point of breaking the seal of a jar of coffee, put an oxygen absorber in, and try to find some way of sucking the air out of there and sealing it up tight. As long as it's in a glass jar and it's out of sunlight, any damp, any strong smells, it's somewhere cool and dark, that's going to last for a donkey's years. And that jar of coffee, my God, you can swap that for a whole week's work, and it's only cost you £1 or whatever it is. Okay. So yes, get things that people have got addictions for. Cigarettes and alcohol, just like Oasis said on their album. It's true. If you get 20 B&H sealed up in a pack, stick it away, forget about them. Okay, make sure that they're nowhere near anything damp or any odours. Cool, dark, sealed out of the way. They will last pretty much indefinitely. In fact, it would be an interesting experiment to find someone who's had a packet of cigarettes, looked after them correctly for 20 years, and open them and smoke one, see what it's like. Maybe it'll be dry, I don't know. Maybe there's a way that you can slowly reintroduce some small level of moisture in there at the time of smoking, which might make it more bearable. Probably. I mean, I know you can put potato peel in baccy when it's all dried up, and it just turns it back into life again. So theoretically, yeah, cigarettes. Alcohol. Oh my God. So alcohol, like this, one of my favourites. Used to drink this a long, long time ago when I was on holiday in Austria, and the Cuba Libre, I think it was called. Oh, Faye, it is no, it's Paul. Oh mate, oh here's Faye. Very close. Reminded me. Yeah, but spirits, they will last a bloody lifetime. They really, really would. And if you are getting items to barter, I would say go for the cheaper stuff with the highest alcohol volume, because you're going to get more bottles for your money. Okay, and literally, if you give someone a bottle of vodka which now costs you £15, £20 or whatever it is, trust me, when it goes bad, that bottle is going to be worth an absolute fortune. It really, really would. And also, if it's strong vodka, it's good for cleaning wounds if you really had to. Like I said, you get any infections and you haven't got stuff, alcohol will help. So, without further ado, Matt, the amount of times I've been told off by people saying further adieu. Sometimes I say it on purpose to wind people up to see if anyone comments, and they do. I just have a little giggle to myself. So, without further ado, oh, okay, I need to get glasses. I'm getting old. Oh yeah, 50 cal. Look at that, man. Don't want to those hitting you. I hope you'll not join me, Faye. Yeah, we're touching the old Henry. Right, here we go. You might be able to hear it. Oh, there's the microphone there, look. Listen to this. It's been a week. Cheers, everybody. Oh, man. No joke, I really love that stuff. And like I say, I don't usually drink strong. I don't like strong ale or strong lager. It's rank, can't stand it. But if you get a really nice tasting strong cider, yes sir. Oh, my phone's just popped again. Oh, every time I touch this thing, it's asking me to log in every bloody time. I'm going to run out of thumbs in a minute. What the? Right. I got a donation from Andrew and from Caris and Margaret. I can't say your full name online because it goes against what I do. But all I can say is, Margaret, if you're out there, what you're doing, right, you are really helping, okay? And in fact, if it wasn't for you, I think we would be really struggling with what's been going on. Like I say, I wish I could talk about it, but I can't. I'm not allowed to. But yeah, that's really helped, Margaret. Like, you wouldn't believe, actually. Yeah, bless you, sweetheart. That's really knocked the wind out of my sails. Someone called Margaret has had a massive donation on PayPal, and it's literally... bloody hell. Insane. Sorry. Sorry about that. That's got me a bit. I'm not joking. Margaret. God, I love you. Oh, God. I can't even look at that. That's a scary number. Right, so where was we getting to? Trade. Yeah, I'm gonna get back into this. You can't see me going all emotional on here, can you? So trade and barter items. What would you get, or what would you stock for trade and barter items? If you're watching a replay, whack it in the comment section underneath the video. But if you're live and you're watching right now, I'll be interested to hear what sort of things that you believe would be good. Excuse me. To having your preps to barter, because we're talking of a time where money is useless. Okay, there might even be a point after a collapse that precious metals would be useless too. Now that is a really hot potato to talk about. Personally, I think you might be able to use gold and silver, but it's going to be very rare. Okay, very rare. But I think the further you are from a date of a collapse, it's going to get rarer and rarer and rarer. So personally, if you are stacking silver or you're sitting on gold, if you get a feeling that this collapse is a few months away, that would be the writing on the wall for me to cash all of it in, regardless of what its worth is, whether you're going to lose or whether you're going to win big. Okay, that's what I plan to do. I'm not a financial advisor. You can do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. All this is what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want. But I think someone said a long time ago, you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver. So when it really comes down to it, when there's no money, and what are you going to do with some gold? You keep passing it around, saying, "Oh, great, I've got all this gold. I can't buy anything of it." No one's going to want to swap this for, a container lorry full up with noodles or whatever. People would rather have useful thing. So we're looking now to see what you guys. Bloody hell, face masks. You're funny, Jody. What you like? It's good that Peter got a sense of humour on here. Codeine and condoms. I say. Viagra. Here we go. Star comment of the evening. Paul. My God. Oh, mental. That's funny. That made me laugh, that did. Oh, wow. Here we go. Ah, look, Prepper Granny. Good to see you in here, sweetheart. Sugar and salt. Now, there is a very, very good answer from a very, very wise person. And do you want me to tell you why? Because guess what? Over decades, the human population, especially in the West, have a sugar addiction. If you don't believe me, stop eating anything with any sugar in it for a week. Let me know how you get on. Trust me, it's supposed to be worse than coming off heroin. Yes, it's that bad. It's insane. Because we have sugar in pretty much everything. All of a sudden it's not there. Okay, go and pick some apples and eat them. If they're a bit sour, if you're going to do apple pie, you always put some sort of sugar in it. You always sweeten things. And yes, I know you can sweeten things with honey, etc. And that's fine. But there's certain things in cooking and whatnot which you can't use honey. And certain things it's best to use sugar. And absolutely, that is really going to be a thing. Especially if people want to preserve. Do you know how hard it is to preserve fruit without sugar? Can you do it with honey? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Has anyone made any jams with any honey and it's set like a proper jelly? Probably not, because of the pectins in certain sugars. You can. Salt. Now there's a thing. If you're fortunate enough to live not too far from the coast, don't worry, you're sorted. And if you don't know, all you do is you get a container, you fill it up with seawater, you boil it to nothing, and in the bottom you've got salt. It's the easiest way to explain it. If you're miles and miles and miles away from the coast and you need salt for a multitude of reasons, I mean, salt is more important than you can probably realise, okay? So yeah, Prepper Granny, absolutely on point. And I'll tell you what, if any of you guys are on Instagram, go to Instagram and type in Prepper Granny UK. I recommend that you follow her, especially if you're a lady, because there is stuff in there which is amazing. The amount of information in there. I'll tell you what you should do, sweetheart, if you're watching. Find someone who's got techie brains, get a website done and put all of your information on there. Honestly, you'll reach far more people than just Instagram. Because let me tell you this, the amount of time and energy and effort that you spend doing everything, and that is cooking, preparing, organising, cleaning, shopping, doing articles, etc. That's a lot of time and effort. And what I would like to see you do, Prepper Granny UK, is to have one day doing absolutely nothing at all. Nothing. Don't turn the phone on, don't go to the shops, don't clean out cupboards, just do nothing. Go out to the woods all day. Put a hammock up, relax. Trust me, you're going to need that reset soon because I know how hard you work. But yeah, sugar and salt, absolutely awesome. Sweets are good, yes. I believe in America they call them candy. Why the hell sweets are called candy? I don't know. I really don't know. But we call them sweets out here. Yes, they're good. They're a good morale boost. They're good for a short burst of energy. And they're great for cheering up kids. Because people don't really talk about kids in scenarios like this. And if your kid's gone through a bad time, and trust me, kids are going to be massively psychologically damaged after something like this. It's going to be huge. Having something small, like a sweet, will absolutely make their week, not their day. Okay, so yeah, very good point. Viagra. Oh dear. Condoms. Well, it's weird, isn't it? Because one you probably want to get the community going again and having kids and stuff. But yeah, you don't want to be picking up any nasties. So I'll leave that down to the decider on that one. Here we go. Video games. Something to stock for a post-collapse. It's not a bad point. And I'll tell you what, a good friend of mine, Piss Dave, is down in London. He absolutely has got these little handheld portable game devices. And I'm not sure if they're built in or you put a cartridge or whatever it is. But they've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Some of them got thousands of games. All different old school games mainly, but there's some new ish type ones in there as well. And he said you can pick them up for like 40 quid or something. Insane. So having something like a tiny little game console for your kids when things have gone bad, little things like that will keep their memory back where it was, where they're trying to adjust to a different world. So anything like an hour a day just to take their mind off things and let them have some fun. I think video games, yeah, definitely worth having, especially for kids. I wouldn't as an adult, but that's my own thing. You know, I stopped playing computer games when I was 18. So when I see guys and girls playing computer games in their 30s, 40s and 50s and 60s, I don't know, I find it hard. I just think it's a child thing, but that's my own thoughts on that. So yeah, do it like Stephen Parks, you naughty man. Oh yeah, people are getting silly, condoms, Viagra. Let's bring it down. Oh my God, look at this. Micro dots. Do you remember them? I remember Bendy Lamppost at 3 o'clock in the morning getting some skins from the garage. That's another story. Anyway, what else have we got here? I know some of you guys are probably laughing at that. True story. But the dugout. Dugout? What's dugout? How tradable will video games be? I suppose that depends on what games consoles they're for. I think they probably will be. If people have got like energy and they've got games consoles, yeah. But you know, when we're talking further away, you know, trying to keep that power going for games consoles and screens, maybe not. But in the initial, I think that's essential. You know, from the collapse to probably about a year, they will be in high demand. After that, I think they're gradually going to be falling by the wayside when technology starts to fail or whatever. What else have we got in here? Yeah, look. Get your crossbows. Yeah, I suppose you could trade crossbows. Bolts, maybe. There we go. Medicines, yeah. Now, there's a good thing. I remember this paramedic come out to us once, and I was said to him, said, look, what's the truth about use-by dates on paracetamol and stuff like that? And he just grinned, and he said the last few years, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. That is from a qualified paramedic. So how many people do you know who would go in their medical cabinet and go, oh my God, look at this, it's 3 years out of date, and throw it in the bin? How many people do you know who would do that? Don't. Even if it's way out of date, okay? If the packaging looks all mouldy and crumpled and looks all dusty and stuff, then maybe have a look and decide then. But there we go. Look at that. Flanders. Morphine, priceless. Yeah, if you can get it. Or a morph, probably. Ghee, clarified butter. Yeah. I'm not sure how it stores in tins after it's use by date. Because I used a couple of scoops out of it, of course, to make curries with it. Put it in the fridge, and about a month later I opened it up. Oh, it's rancid, I had to chuck it. It really stunk. So yeah, be careful with ghee. Unless you can keep it for a long period of time without it going disgusting. Soap, yeah, absolutely. How many people have got soaps in their preps? Yeah, always good. So yes, bartering stuff is really important. What else can we move on to? Homebrew and alcohol. Like I said before, if you can't really store it to trade with, why don't know how to make it? Yeah, apparently you can make vodka with potatoes or potato skins. So yeah, One of my old tips that I said back in 2012 now, if you find yourself a couple of bug out locations, okay, go there every now and again, and when you do, plant potatoes around the area. Imagine it all kicking off and you've got a couple of locations to go to which you know like the back of your hand because you spent time there, you've done overnighters there, you've trained there, you've learnt the skills there. Imagine going there and digging up loads of potatoes. Leaving a few in there, they'll come up the following year. So yes, you can use them to make vodka. And also some of you guys, let me know if you've home brewed before. It was something I was always wanted to have a go at. But when I started looking at how much space it takes up, all of these different things that you've got to get, all of the sterilisation, and you do one thing wrong, it's ruined, and you've got to keep an eye on it. And I thought, do you know what? It's such a pain in the arse to actually make alcohol. I think that's why lots of people buy it, because it's relatively cheap now. But, here we go. Ben, moonshine. Yes, mate. Like we saw on a live stream not that long ago, my mate over in NI, Sergeant Fruitcake, some of you know him. He sent me down some 40-odd%, whatever it was, stuff. So yeah, learning how to make alcohol, that's probably going to be a good thing, because if you can make it really strong, like moonshine, like Ben just said, you can also use that to sterilise wounds as well. Very good. And absolutely... Yes, mate. Yeah, I don't know if you followed me from the beginning, but yeah, mate, I said it years ago, and maybe I should say it in a few other videos because it's something I've always done, and I've got a few locations back down south. Do you know what? I might go down there one day and just see all my spuds growing around the woods. That's if no one's seen them and no one, and started pulling them all up. But yeah, you never know, do you? But yeah, absolutely. What do you think about doing your own alcohol? Do you think it's a good idea? Oh, people are still doing different items. Candles and paraffin. Yeah, do you know what? Paraffin. I'm pretty sure if you had paraffin in a container, you looked after it, or you didn't have it in a greenhouse or something stupid, or up in the loft, you kept it cool and dark, away from damp, I reckon in about 100 or so years you could open it and it'd still work. It'd probably go on for a long time. Okay. Whether or not it will survive in its original plastic container, whether it will slowly break it down, maybe it will need to go into glass jars or something like that, probably. But yeah. So, here we go. Look. Yep, sterilising wounds. That's right. Absolutely. So, what else can we do? Purifying water. How many people know how to purify water? Hopefully everyone watching this knows how to do it. If you had no water filter bottles or nothing like that, you had nothing, could you filter water? Could you make it safe to drink? I hope everyone knows how to. I've had a few comments based on the video I've done the other day, and I've had a few people say, oh, can you do videos about purifying water? But I'm saying that just to see what the response is on the chat, to see if everyone knows how to get any old water and make it clean so you can drink. It's interesting. Yep. Bleach tablets. Yep. That's another one. Yep, that's good. Yep, that's looking good. Awesome. I'm glad to see that. Yeah. Cool. Sky Girl. Do you know, I often wonder that when you see channels like Sky Girl and a picture of a girl, who knows if it's actually a girl? It might be some guy. You never know, do you? Yeah, that's good. So no need to go on about water then, you guys pretty much know it. That's awesome. But yeah, having that sort of skill under your belt and knowing what to do, knowing the signs, what to look for, etc. Alright. And also check water sources. Okay. I remember reading about this guy up in Scotland. He found this spring, right, and he was drinking from it. He got really ill. And do you know what happened? The source of the spring, which went underground up the top, there was a sheep that died. Yeah. And it's going straight through the ground into the spring, out the other side, and he got well sick. So yes, I would never, ever, ever find a spring and drink straight from it. Never, never. Do you know what? I've seen videos of guys out in Austria, they're up in the mountains, right? And they're seeing this beautiful, clear running water, and it gets this little aluminium cup, and they scoop it up, and they go, "Oh, it's so nice and cold and crisp and lovely." They didn't see the frigging dead goat 1/4 kilometre up the top, did they? Lying across the stream. Really careful. Personally, I wouldn't take any risk whatsoever with water. I would always filter it. And that goes with mushrooms, okay? Personally, you know, I would really have to swear on my life, literally, that mushroom I've picked is exactly what I think. There's even stories of old guys who've been picking mushrooms for 50, 60 years. And when your eyesight gets a bit funny and you pick one and you swear it's fine and they die because they've eaten the poisonous one, treat that like water. Don't think you're going to be Billy Big Bollocks and just drink from anywhere. Always treat it first. Because what happened to me, and I can say this because it's happened to me, you will have no effects for 3 days, but after 3 days, you will start getting hot and cold sweats like you've got the flu, stomach cramps. You will be going to the toilet about 15 times a day. You will get weaker and weaker and weaker. You will lose so much weight, you won't eat, and you will feel absolutely awful. And if untreated, you're going to die, especially if you're out there on your Todd. Right? So water, like I say, when you're purifying water, please be bloody careful. Take it from someone who's made a mistake and got 1 drop of contaminated water into filtered water and ended up with Giardia. Yeah, a foreign tropical disease in a pond in the UK. Yep, absolutely. So bees and honey. How many of you guys have bees? How many of you guys make honey, wax candles? Very, very lucrative business. In fact, a good friend of mine said a while ago now, if you have 12 successful hives, you don't have to work. You will earn enough money selling honey from those 12 busy hives. That's how insane honey is. And I've seen the price of honey go crazy, crazy. A £1 jar, when I was down south, I was picking them up for £5 a jar. Now they're £7.50 here in Wales. I don't know what it's like anywhere else. If any of you guys can say in the chat and indeed the comment section under the video, let me know what you're paying for raw local honey. £1 jar. Oh, look at this. Someone's been sweet. Al Mac. Cheers, bro. I really appreciate that. And again. Andrew, I know that name. Thank you, sir, on PayPal. I just need to. But I've got a bit of a cough coming here. Oh my god, look at that. Look. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Let me just put that up there. Does anyone else get that on their phones? I'm not joking, man. I'm seeing it 5 times a day. What that tells me, I've got big changes coming up soon. And it never tells me what, but there's always a change. Just nuts. I can't. Margaret, honestly. Oh, yeah. Sam, Andrew, Caris. That's a lovely name. Thank you for that donation, sweetheart. That's awesome. You guys are mint. Absolutely helping out like you would not bloody believe. Yeah, bees and honey. Let me have a look. I want to know. £5.50 for local honey. Do you know what? I thought as much. They're taking the rice in Wales, I tell you. Yeah, look at that. £4.99 a jar. Here we go. £5 a jar. It drives me nuts. Here we go. £5.50 or £6.50. I suppose there's 2 different size jars. I'd avoid 20 quid. I don't believe you. Sorry. No one's going to charge 20 quid. Oh my god, I thought I was doing bad. £8 in Southampton. Over there. Wow. In fact, I don't know if slugs on it. If you are, mate, hit me up on the encrypted app and tell me, because I'll be interested to know what you're doing down there. Right, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, let me know how much you're paying for the £1 jars roughly of raw honey, because raw honey, I'm not joking. It is literally worth its weight in gold from a medicinal standpoint. It really, really is. And it's not unheard of for me to eat an entire £1 jar in 3 days when I've got a serious throat infection. And mate, the relief you get from it is insane. It really, really is. And the secret is, if you get honey that's produced nearer to where you live, if you've got any hay fever like symptoms, or indeed you suffer from hay fever, it's almost practically a cure. I've heard people cured from hay fever because they've gone on to raw local honey when they're getting bad attacks of it. And they haven't had it for years because they've been having this local honey. It's got all of the local pollen, local to them. So it's like an immune response. It absolutely helps. So, yeah, that's awesome. Educational books. There's another one. There's a thing that not many people talk about, is it? Books. So we're talking post-collapse, when everything's gone to rat. Okay. Yes, there's going to be a few bits of power now and again from the last remaining power banks and solar panels, etc. But would you really risk storing valuable information on anything electronic, considering how fragile, and God it is, our grid is so fragile? I don't think many people understand this. It's literally being patched together by sticky tape. The demand on the grid's insane, and the investment or the lack of, and the cyber attacks, oh yes, they're very real and they happen. MI5 are very busy with things like that, like you wouldn't believe how busy they are. So books of how you rebuild society, how you help, how you educate is going to be very important. Okay, how many people do you remember those really old technical drawing books in the 70s about woodwork and construction? Okay, those are the sorts of books to get. Okay, because it's going to be in a time where power tools are going to start failing and you can't rely on power tools. You're going to have to use tenon saws, gentleman's saws, coping saws, the old school stuff, miter blocks, etc. You're going to need to use old school tools because we've been so bubble wrapped and spoilt with technology and electronics and gadgets. What happens when all of that is gone? Some people know how to use saws correctly and hammers correctly and nails. Incidentally, fixings are another thing as well. Reuse fixings. If you're doing anything outdoors, try to invest in screws and fixings which are going to be okay outdoors, i.e. stainless and anything equivalent. Please do not get mild steel screws, okay? The reason, you can't reuse them. They're going to rust, you won't be able to get them undone, and the longer they rust, they're useless. If you use really good quality stainless steels, if you get them on discount, if they're on offer and wherever it is, get them. Because you can screw things together when that construction starts to fail, or the rivets or whatever it is, you can reuse the screws. I know this because when I moved, some of you guys remember I built that little homestead down south, and I had the chicken coop and the chicken run, which I built from free wood, which I found everywhere. I reused all of the screws and all of the fixings. I've still got them out there because the screws, the fixings that I chose were not cheap steel that rusts. That's a pro tip if you don't do things like that already. I mean, some of you guys already know how to school. I'm not telling you guys to suck eggs, but like I say, we've got a lot of new guys joining, and you never know what you know. So we're trying to help at the end of the day. So yes, the old books, they will literally teach you how to construct solid constructions without trying to make it up, without any experience. You put in any load or any weight or any part of that structure and it could potentially collapse, hurting or killing someone inside. So old educational good quality books, try and get hardback if you can. They tend to wear better. Very good tip if you've got the room to store them, that is. What else have we got? Toys. Kids. Put yourself in kids' world. Alright? Put yourself in kids' world. It all goes bad. You're moving away from everything that you've known and loved. You're going somewhere relatively new, whether it's a friend's house up north or down south, or you're going to the countryside, you're going to a bug-out location, you're even going to a different country. there won't be toy shops, okay? And trust me, your kids' favourite toys, the smaller the better probably, because you can move them around easier and stuff, they are going to be worth so much, okay? The comfort that a kid's going to get from a little teddy bear or whatever it is, it will mean so much to them. And to not consider having little things like that, especially if your kids are little, right? Don't overlook it, okay? Kids bug out bags, etc. No one talks about them. In fact, I might try and do some sort of family bug out bag load up, because I don't see enough of them. You know, I've seen family guys out there, this is my bug out bag, and I know full well he's got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old and a partner. Where's their bags? Never see them there. It's important though, people need to learn stuff. Pots and pans as well, very important. Yeah, you try and carry on heating food and purifying water without any pots and pans. Little things like that are good to think about, okay? In fact, if you look at Dave Canterbury's 5 scenes, one of them is a container. So he holds a metal cooking container in the top bare basic minimal survival things you should have, okay? So why wouldn't you talk about pots and pans in a post-collapse world? Try and imagine getting by without one. That's all I'm going to say. For some of you guys who have got plastic cups you drink out of, switch it to a good quality heavy duty stainless steel one, because you can drink out of it and you can boil and cook in it too. So you haven't got to carry a pot and a plastic cup, etc. I personally like the BCB Crusader mug. Bomb-proof stuff. Absolutely love that. But whatever you do, do not get the frigging black one. Don't get the black Crusader mug. Don't get it. Don't do it. Because the coating on the inside will scratch really easy, and you will have a nightmare with black bits all in your food. Don't do it like I did. Okay? It took me ages to get it all out. But it's nice and black on the outside because it's black anyway. But yeah, it's a pain. Some of you know what I'm talking about, and I can see you nodding. Horse riding. Who knows how to ride a horse? My partner does. She's been riding horses since she was 5 years old. Some people are excellent at riding horses. Okay, imagine getting from A to B when there's no cars, long distances. If you know how to ride a horse, how to look after them, how to rear them, yeah, people like that are really going to be a godsend. 100%. How many times have you seen in the movies in America where you've got all of these guys and girls riding around on their horses in the wild, wild west? Well, yeah, there wasn't cars back then. And that's going to be probably a time we're moving into. Especially when you see they want all of our cars going electric. Especially when you see all of these electric cars catching fire. My God, I'd rather have a horse. And it will give you something which you can put into your compost heap, which will make your vegetables 3 times bigger than what they should do. Well rotted as well. Not ridden the horse for 52 years, laugh out loud. Oh, I'm not going to lie, I've never ridden one before. I've had a go on a camel, no? I think that's a bit different. Carts as well. Horse and carts. So, if you've got a strong enough horse and it's in good shape, absolutely you can build a cart, but you really got to be careful what sort of load that animal is going to pull, because you don't want to risk any injuries to that animal. That animal is going to be looked upon as a god, like they do in India with elephants, etc. Okay, they are going to be absolutely sacred, the horse. So if you neglect or misuse that animal, guess what? All of a sudden you've lost all of your ways and means of transporting materials from A to B. Okay, so horse and carts, yeah, is going to come to that one of these days. Windmills as well. So using old school methods. You see, I think humanity gets to a certain point, it collapses, just like the Roman Empire did. Something cataclysmic happens thousands of years ago, and you go right back and you start rebuilding again. We are sort of overdue our collapse. So it is coming our way, but no one's going to be able to tell you exactly when. Now, a good friend of mine said, I think it was the 16th of May 2040 is when bad stuff happens. Who knows? So yes, windmills. using the power of the wind, using the power of the water to generate either electricity, get those old really cool devices up and running to do certain things which are really going to help. And also, what do they use windmills for? For grinding up flour, absolutely, amongst other things as well. Okay, so I think the Americans have corn flour, well, like corn bread and stuff like that, but we use wheat flour for bread. And yeah, those things. There's probably books on how to construct windmills with cogs, etc. Okay, because let's face it, in the UK we're always going to have wind, especially in the mountains of Wales. You wouldn't believe it. Other stuff, first aid. Now, why do you think they don't teach first aid at school? There's a reason for that, isn't there? They don't want people knowing, because they want people to rely on someone else. If you can do first aid confidently on yourself, your loved ones, friends and family, you are going to be an asset. And there is a multitude of first aid books that you can get out there. You can find them in charity shops, you can go online, YouTube videos, etc. Have some knowledge about first aid. Okay, you don't have to be a heart surgeon, right? No one's asking you to, but just breathing, bleeding, breaks and burns, the 4 B's. When I was back in the military, that's how I started. I've done a first aider at work thing in charge of about 20 people. I've done medic stuff on other projects, and it is going to be of use. Okay, people need to learn the basics, because you're not going to be able to pick the phone up and say, get an ambulance here quick. Ain't happening. You've got to deal with it yourself, however bad it may seem. But you start off knowing the basics. Once you understand how the human body works, it's going to give you a fighting chance of keeping your casualty alive. Where if you just stood there, froze, shaking head, don't know what to do, guess what? They're just going to die right in front of you if it's severe. Okay, especially a traumatic bleed. You really need to know what you're doing. So first aid, start learning it now. No time like the present. Even if you just do 5 minutes a day reading through a book, set an alarm on your phone, 8 o'clock. Oh, first aid. Right, okay. Read the next couple of pages. Bloody hell, I didn't know that. Put it down. Imagine doing 5 minutes a night, a first aid book, over 6 months. You're going to learn a hell of a lot more than someone who's got no idea. Trust me. Yeah. Believe it, that's really good. And the last thing is situational awareness. Now, loads of people have been messaging me saying, please can you do videos on situational awareness? And it is something that I've got planned in the near future, but the amount of stuff that I know on this topic, I really want to do a good job. So I really want to present it well. Okay, and I don't want to miss anything. So it's going to take some planning. But at the moment, there's loads of stuff going on. I just haven't got the time. But I will be doing, talking about situational awareness. If you don't know what that means, Google it or watch someone on YouTube or whatever it is. You're going to learn something. Okay, you really need to be aware of your local environment. Okay, especially if you're in an urban area. Trust me, the amount of times I've gone to urban areas and I've seen people walk across the road looking at their phone with headphones on. No idea. How these people are still alive, it beggars belief. But they're out there. Oh yeah, they're out there. And, you know, you really do need, because like I said on last week's live stream, more and more people are going to end up with less and less money. And when people have got less and less money, they get more and more desperate. And when they get more and more desperate, they do desperate things. So you need to be aware of your immediate vicinity. Okay, like I said, I'm going to go into details on that in the near future. Lots of hints and tips of what you can do to try and keep you alive out there when things are going to get bad. So we better call it a night, guys. I don't know, I've got a bad cough. I've been smoking too many of them little cigars, I think. But no, everyone who's been donating tonight, like I said, I wish I could tell you why, but I can't. But yeah, I've got to be a good boy. And that money helps, okay? It really does help. I'm not just saying it. So yeah, I need to make sure that I haven't missed anyone. No, we've had no more. That's it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all them donations. Thank you to everyone who's taken part in the chat tonight. Wow. You got loads of new people on here. It's amazing. Lara Katchakan, I think it is. Dr. Victor Fries. I don't know. Is it EI5 is on tour? Or L5? It's hard to say. Blessed Love, that's a nice name. Stephen Watson. Hey, I'm a cockroach. Is I'm a cockroach on here? No. Oh, yes, he is. Brother, you must have heard me talking about first aid. Oh, dude. Do you know, if you want to, we should do like a little, whether it's a live stream or some sort of recording where we can have a chat and help a few people out of basics. Because I'll tell you what this guy doesn't know about improvised first aid, he could write a book on it. In fact, Mike, you should. You deserve a win for, mate. Working 100-hour weeks. Write a really good improvised first aid book. Prepping slanted. You make a killing, mate. Right. Really good to see you in, Mike. Excellent. And indeed, every single one of you guys who have been watching on the replay throughout this week, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be trying to check for the comments as well. What I usually try and do is find myself an hour in the morning, which is hard, to go through this live chat. Because we've had nearly about 1,000 people in here, which is mad. Awesome. And yes, I will be reading through the comments on the guys with the replay. And if you can help during the week, awesome. Like I said, I managed to remember the names of the guys who helped out on PayPal during the week. Bloody fantastic. Especially if they use friends and family, because all of that money goes to the channel. No big cuts, go straight to bloody PayPal, which is a pain in the ass. And also, last but not least, thanks to all of the moderators in the house. The top four's been here again. Fan-bloody-tastic. It's good to see. It really, really is. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Because I say, if the moderators aren't here, it's pretty much like society without the police. Can you imagine how bad it'll be in this chat? It'd be arguing, and trolls are getting here and wind a couple of people up. It'd be a pain in the ass. No one would want to spend time getting wound up in there. So thanks to the moderators for keeping it calm. It's awesome. Yeah, and if anyone's naughty, I don't care who they are, stick them in a sin bin, or if they're a complete tosser, just block them. Okay, we don't care. We got a good community here. We want to keep it good. We don't want idiots just being stupid. So wicked. You guys have yourself. Oh, for sake. Claire, you're a legend. Oh my God, that's from America, I believe. Thank you, sweetheart. Really helps. That's brilliant. So yes, you guys have an awesome weekend, and don't forget Bushcraft show next Friday, and hopefully I'll be doing a live stream next Friday. Luckily for me, we got friends staying over at the house while we're over there, which is awesome because they need a break. They've been working really hard. And I said, you know what, we're going to the show, just come over and stay at ours. So we're going to be meeting them a couple of days before, and it's going to be a bit cramped, but when we go to the show, I can't wait to meet up with loads of you guys, because lots of you guys are going to the Bushcraft show. All right, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, because do you know what, looks like the guys were right. We are going to be having some sort of heat waves, so the weather is going to be beautiful at the Bushcraft show. And if any of you guys still haven't got tickets, you're still thinking about going, look at the link below, click on that, and it's 15% off. It'll save you a few bob. So you guys take care. Thanks very much for donating and really helping. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely weekend,